Fox News at 10 starts now.
Well, good Monday evening to you. I'm Liz Gonzalez. Monty Torres has the night off. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. After days of heated public debate over a trans athlete who competed at the California Interscholastic Federation Championships in Clovis over the weekend, including the threat by President Trump to pull federal funding over this issue, the discussion carried over to Clovis City Hall tonight. That is where we find Fox 26 reporter Myra Franco live. She fills us in more on what was said during tonight's meeting. Myra?
Liz, tonight both sides of the issue voiced their opinions. Many directed their frustration at city officials, asking why they even got involved in the controversy in the first place, calling it politically motivated. Now, we also learned how much the city spent to bring in more officers to the event. Though the California Interscholastic Federation's track and field championships have officially ended in Clovis, tensions remain high and flared up again at the Clovis City Council meeting Monday night. Those on both sides of the issue approached the podium to express their views on the entire situation and at several city officials for their involvement.
I don't recognize many of you anymore. I don't recognize the hate that so many of you on this council have decided is the face of Clovis.
But I have to say, what I've seen in the public media is not protecting. It's not standing up. It's people advocating for positions that they care about in order to advance a political narrative that is personal to them. And frankly, I find that shameful.
This is not a political issue. I get it, it can be a little controversial, but political expediency, I don't think, is a reason to miss something like this. And so the community appreciates you.
I become more worried each time a new outrage comes across social media that Clovis will fail. Because too many of you choose to focus on that manufactured outrage than doing your job.
There's no way a biological man should be allowed into a woman's shower room.
Councilmember Lynn Ashbeck also voiced her concerns, saying the city paid a high price financially and politically for what she calls a manufactured conflict.
In the rush to dominate social media and advance political ambitions, we have lost the real storyline in Clovis. What price did we pay for the events of the last few days? The city manager reports $21,000 in police overtime.
I think number one, we've heard that was very well spent, and our police department did an outstanding job of making sure that the event stayed a safe space for all of the competitors, etc.
Mayor Pro Tem Diane Pierce defended her stand, saying she will keep fighting for what she believes is right and will not back down.
As a member of the Clovis City Council, but as a representative of the people, I'm looking for ways to make sure that those in this community, our girls, our parents, are properly defended at every single level. I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm not going to act like that's not in my lane. It's exactly my lane, and I intend to stay there.
When you do it under the city logo and you lead with your title, you are leading as a council member, and so that's where I have my issue.
At one point, Ashbeck even walked off the dais.
Ultimately, I hope that they sit and think about, the gravity of the situation over the weekend, and think about, how it affects members of the community like myself.
Ashbeck pointed out the CIF contract is up for bid the next school year. She hopes the controversy doesn't jeopardize bringing the state finals to Clovis, losing out on $6 million. Live in Clovis, I'm Myra Franco, Fox 26 News.
All right, Myra, thank you so much for that live report. Now, Ashbeck did go on to say that not only Clovis police had more officers working overtime over the weekend at the event, but also the school district police department and the CHP. Now, the debate over trans athletes in girls sports clearly far from over. Just today, the Department of Justice sent out this letter to school districts across California. It said that as a member of the California Interscholastic Federation, the districts are exposing themselves to legal liability due to the CIF allowing trans athletes to compete against biological females under the CIF's bylaws. The letter cites the 14th Amendment of the Constitution prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sex, and that allowing trans athletes to compete against girls under CIF bylaws deprives the girls of athletic opportunities and benefits amounting to sex discrimination. The letter instructs school districts to certify in writing by next Monday that they will not implement the CIF's bylaw allowing trans participation in girls' sports. Those opposing the participation of trans athletes in girls' sports applauded the move.
Showing that there's action, there's teeth. It looks like there is about to be a lawsuit against CIF and all the districts that aren't going to comply. So this is exactly the right direction that we need.
Chino Valley School Board President Sonia Shaw says the move by the CIF and track and field championships, which didn't change the outcome for girl athletes and allowed a trans athlete to compete, show that the CIF is keeping an eye on its bottom line. And she says the CIF is scrambling.
They don't want the funding to be pulled. And what they did was sloppy, but I'm glad they did it because anybody with common sense would say, why are the girls invited back? Whether it is a step in the right direction, this is not when we give in. This is not when we give up, because the boys do not belong anywhere near the girls' sports. If you're going to make a separate division, it needs to be called co-ed.
Shaw, who is also running for state superintendent of schools, tells Fox 26 that she is certain this issue will be resolved in courts. Just when remains to be seen. Meantime, we're hearing tonight from another athlete who shared the podium with A.B. Hernandez, the trans athlete at the center of this debate. Brooke White ended up with a second-place medal in the girls' long jump event at the state finals over the weekend. She shared silver with A.B. She says that A.B.'s performance and grace through the situation inspired her.
It made me really emotional, seeing how people could be so hateful to a 16-year-old girl. It also eased me a lot to talk to A.B. personally and see how she was handling the situation as a rock star. Like, just, you know, she PR'd and I'm pretty sure all 3 events. Overall, I just want to help foster peace and community and acceptance.
White, by the way, is headed to UC San Diego in the fall on a track and field athletic scholarship. Now, over the weekend, a lot of you took to our social media pages asking for a breakdown of the results. And here's a look at how A.B. Hernandez scored at this weekend's event. A.B. placed first in a 3-way tie in the high jump, jumping 5 feet 7 inches. The closest competitor to the 3 tied for a first jump with an inch shy at 5'6". In long jump, A.B. placed second with a jump just over 20 feet 8 inches. With this weekend's CIF rule change, Brooke White joined A.B. on the podium, as you just heard. Her jump was recorded at just over 19 feet and 4 inches. And in the triple jump, A.B. took the top spot with a mark of just over 42 feet 2 inches. The nearest competitor placed first here as well. Her mark 40 feet 5 inches. Here's a look at how those numbers, by the way, stack up with the boys category. In the high jump, the boys competition first place winner jumped 6 feet 9 inches. In long jump, the winner jumped more than 25 feet. And the winner in the triple jump marked more than 51 feet 4 inches. Get your phone ready, though, because we want to know what you think. Do you think that current policies regarding transgender athletes in sports are fair? Chime in with yes or no. All you have to do is search KMPH.com or use your phone and scan the QR code right there on your screen. Meantime, tonight, state lawmakers did reject a bill whose author says was in response to the Trump administration's hostility towards its transgender community.
Critically important that California be a place of refuge where people can exist here and be here and come here if they don't feel safe where they are, and know that we're going to have their backs.
SB 497, which was authored by San Francisco State Senator Scott Wiener, who you see right there, aimed to strengthen California's transgender state of refuge protections. It required a warrant to access the state's healthcare database. It expanded the state's transgender shield laws to keep healthcare providers from complying with subpoenas requiring information on gender-affirming healthcare. And it stated the intent to protect teachers affirming of trans youth. The bill failed in the state Senate by 3 votes.